Microphones, let's talk about them. We musicians always get asked about our gear, and lucky for you, I love to talk about gear, especially drums, but in this video we're gonna talk about microphones. So if you're interested in knowing about some really good quality microphones, keep watching this video. What's up everyone, CJ here. Now, I'm not a professional recording engineer or a studio technician, and if you would ask me about recording advice, my knowledge is kinda limited, but I do know about good microphones for recording drums and how to record drums. And throughout this past year, I've been investing in some premium quality microphones. This has been a dream of mine for a long time, to have a nice arsenal of microphones for expanding my drum studio. So let's start with a big one first. For inside the bass drum, I'm using the AKG D112, and this has been a studio standard bass drum microphone, both live and in studio, for over 30 years. It has a large diaphragm dynamic capsule, and it has a frequency range between 20 Hz to about 17K. I definitely recommend this microphone, and thousands of other musicians will recommend this to you too. And this one is actually not that expensive. If you only have the budget for one bass drum microphone, get this one. And for outside the bass drum, I've actually started using one of my old SCX1 condenser microphones to capture that rounder, boomier sound from the bass drum. Next up is the snare drum microphone. The trusty old Shure SM57. This mic doesn't need an introduction. I mean, this is one of the most recorded microphones of all time, and for good reason too. Unless you'd like to get a condenser mic for your snare, this is a Shure choice. Get it? Shure choice? Because the company name is Shure, but with an H? It's great for capturing the attack from the snare drum, and it's also durable as hell. You can drop this on the floor 100 times and it will still work perfectly. Don't drop it on purpose though. I mean, that's just unnecessary. And underneath my snare drum, I'm using one of my Samson Q snare microphones to get that extra texture from the snare wires. As you can see, I've jerry-rigged the clamp to a mic stand because it doesn't really sound good when it's clamped on the rim of the drum. If you're playing rim shot on the snare drum, this particular clamp picks up like an annoying clicky sound which goes into the microphone, so I wouldn't really recommend these on a snare drum, but they work great on toms though. On my side snare, I'm using two of these as well, both on top and on the bottom. I do want to upgrade to some SM57s as soon as possible, but they work for now. And for the toms, these are probably my favorite tom microphones ever. For all my 5 toms, I bought the Sennheiser MD421. Just look at that thing, looks like a ray gun. Pew, pew, pew. Holy crap, I love these microphones. The first time I was in a studio and recorded with the 421s, I've never heard toms sounding so good. And last year, you know, the year that sucked ass, Sennheiser celebrated their 75th anniversary. And unbeknownst to me, they had a huge sale on a lot of their products, including the MD421. So yeah, I got 5 of them. This microphone has also been an industry benchmark since its release in 1960, and it still sounds amazing. This microphone, amazing though it is, has one major downside, and anyone who's ever recorded with this microphone can agree with me. The downside is this: the clamp design. If you've watched my previous videos from the last year, you might have noticed that I've put some tape around all of these microphones, and it's because of the mic clamp. You gotta be really careful when adjusting this microphone if it's not taped up, because this button right here on the mic clamp, it's really easy to accidentally nudge when you're adjusting the microphone on the stand, and you risk the microphone just dropping off and falling to the floor. And even though this is a big microphone, it's not as durable as the SM57, so you don't want to drop this on the floor. So come on, Sennheiser, from all of us, just make a better clamp design. And last but certainly not least, the overhead microphones. I almost feel like I need an epic B-roll to introduce these. This is the AKG C414 XL2. These mics are fucking monsters. I haven't even tested them out in all different ways yet, but one thing's for sure, they are versatile. You can look these up and you won't really find negative reviews about them. This is a multi-pattern condenser microphone with 9 selectable polar patterns, 3 switchable bass cut filters, and by far the best overhead microphone I've ever used. And plus, they look absolutely gorgeous, right? My microphone setup for my drums is now optimized, and I couldn't be happier. And bear this in mind, this is just my setup, and I know I'm biased, but I think I get a pretty sweet sound from my drums with these microphones. Now, fellow drummers, let me know what you think about these microphones down in the comments. What kind of setup do you have, and what do you think about these mics overall? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated whenever I release a new video. In the meantime, if you want to know how you can still make amazing drum videos with not a lot of microphones, check the link right here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and good luck with your drumming. I'll see you soon.